5 quiet ways people disrespect you after 65. It's not always what they say, it's how they say it. The look, the tone, the way they lower their voice like you're fragile, or clueless, or both. After 65, people don't always shout their disrespect. Sometimes it's quiet. A skipped invitation, a never mind halfway through a conversation, a decision made about you, without you. And if you're not paying attention, you might start to believe them. So today, I want to walk you through 5 quiet ways people disrespect you after 65 and how to take your power back without raising your voice. 1, they speak about you like you're not in the room. You felt this one before. You're sitting right there at the dinner table, at the doctor's office, at the family gathering, and instead of talking to you, they talk around you. She's been having trouble remembering. He's not as steady on his feet anymore. We're thinking about moving her somewhere safer. And you're just sitting there, breathing, alive, present, but invisible. This kind of disrespect isn't loud. It doesn't come with shouting or name-calling. It's quiet. Polite even, but it cuts just as deep. Because being treated like a bystander in your own life, it hurts. Now, most people don't mean to do it. They think they're being helpful. They think they're protecting you. They don't realize that by taking over, they're actually taking away your voice. So what do? You speak up, kindly, clearly, without apology. Please talk to me directly. I'd like to answer that myself. I'm here, and I still get a say. You don't need to raise your voice. You just need to use it. Because every time you remind people that you're still in charge of your own story, you take your power back. 2, they assume you can't learn new things. You ever try something new? A new phone, a tablet, a hobby, and the first thing someone says is, "Oh, don't worry about it. That's too complicated for you." They say it with a smile, like they're being helpful, like they're saving you from struggle. But what they're really saying is, "I don't believe you're capable." That stings, because you've learned a lot in your life. You raise kids, fix things, survive grief, war, change, heartbreak. You've adapted more times than they even know. So why now, when you decide to try something new? Do people treat you like a child? It's subtle. They grab the remote out of your hand. They change your settings without asking. They laugh when you ask a question. And over time, you stop asking. Not because you can't learn, but because you're tired of being made to feel stupid. Here's the truth. Age doesn't stop your mind from working. It just gives you more context. So yes, maybe you need an extra minute to figure something out. So what? You're still learning, still growing. And if someone laughs or rushes you or takes over, that's not your shortcoming. That's their impatience. So next time it happens, say this: "I might take a bit longer, but I'm still learning. Let me try." And if they can't respect that, then maybe it's their turn to learn something, like patience or humility, because no one at any age deserves to be underestimated. 3, they call you sweetie but don't listen. You know the voice, that slow sugar-coated tone, the one that sounds more like they're talking to a toddler than a grown adult. "Aw, sweetie." "Oh, honey, don't worry your head about that." It's everywhere. At the pharmacy, at the bank, even in your own family. They call you darling, but they don't hear a word you say. This is one of the quietest forms of disrespect, because it sounds nice. But underneath the sweetness, there's condescension. They're not complimenting you. They're softening you so they can dismiss you without guilt. It's not about affection, it's about control. Because if they label you as sweet, then maybe they can ignore your opinions, and you start to feel small, like your words don't carry weight anymore. But let me tell you something. Being gentle doesn't mean you've lost your edge. Being kind doesn't mean you don't deserve respect. So next time someone calls you sweetie or dear, and then ignores your concerns, pause, look them in the eye, and say this: "I appreciate kindness, but I need to be heard, not handled." Watch how quickly their tone changes, because the truth is, you can demand respect without being rude. You can correct someone without raising your voice. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You just have to believe that your voice still matters, because it does. 4, they make decisions without asking. This one's personal. It often comes from people who say they love you. Your kids, your grandkids, even close friends. They think they're helping. They say things like, "I already called the doctor for you. I changed your insurance. It's better this way. I made plans for your weekend. Don't worry about it." And they mean well. But still, you weren't asked. You weren't included. You weren't treated like someone who gets to choose. And that cuts deep. Because at this stage in life, you've earned the right to be consulted, not managed. You've made hundreds of decisions in your life, some hard, some life-changing. You don't suddenly lose that ability just because you've aged. But here's the quiet trap. When people step in too often, you start to doubt yourself. You start to question. Maybe I do need help with everything. Maybe I shouldn't speak up. Maybe they know better. Let me stop you right there. Needing support is not the same as surrendering your independence. You can receive help and still make your own choices. So here's what to say when someone steps in without asking. I appreciate your help, but I need to be part of these decisions. Or, let's work on this together. Not for me, with me. That one shift, it brings your power back into the room. Because people who truly love you, they'll listen. And if they don't, then it's time for a new kind of boundary. 5, they stop asking what you want. This one's quiet. So quiet, you might not even notice it at first. You go out to eat, and someone orders for you. You mention a movie, and they change the subject. You talk about a dream, and they chuckle like it's cute. No one's mean. They just stop asking what you want. And little by little, you stop saying it. You say anything's fine when it's not. You smile politely when plans are made without you. You nod even when your heart says no, because it feels easier. But here's the danger. When you stop speaking your wants, you start to forget you even have them. And that is how people fade, not all at once, but decision by decision. You're still allowed to have preferences, desires, opinions, even after 65, especially after 65. You don't need permission to want something. So start small. Say, actually, I'd prefer something else. Say, that doesn't work for me. Say, I still have dreams, and I plan to chase them. Wanting is not selfish. It's human. And when you start honoring your own voice again, others will have no choice but to do the same. Respect doesn't always disappear with a shout. Sometimes it slips away quietly, in the tone, the choices, the assumptions. But the truth? You don't have to fight to earn it. You've already earned it by living, by learning, by growing through decades of joy, pain, and change. So if any of these 5 quiet forms of disrespect felt familiar, know this. It's never too late to reclaim your voice, to ask for what you need, to remind the world, gently but firmly, that you still matter, because you do. And if this message resonated with you, if you felt seen, heard, or understood, please subscribe. This space is for you, for your wisdom, for your voice, now louder than ever. Let's keep walking this road together.